Hey yogis, how you doing? Welcome. Here we are again. It's Monday, right? Monday seems to be the sacred day of practice now for me. However you're finding this and whatever day it is, that's your sacred day, right? So I used to claim Tuesday as my sort of my house of worship, my temple day, or the day to celebrate the spiritual side of me. And now it's turned into Monday, which possibly needed that change, right? So if this is that for you, welcome to today. I'm posting this as a recording where I meant to do this live, but then I realized my Wi-Fi had like one bar of which it should have over 200 of signal. So this is the way it's coming to you, which is fine. So I come today after a little sort of a time away visiting some friends, which was well needed. And I always enjoy kind of having time with friends in general, because community is really sort of kind of my key to life, right? It's my touchstone. And this particularly was poignant because I needed like a wisdom kick. Right, so we know who our friends are, or we hope to know, right? I think we intuitively know who those people are. But when we have these kind of, like we're on our spiritual railroad or roller coaster, and it ebbs and it flows, and when you're just like, whoa, this one went quick and low. And not as much as I want to yank myself out of that, but I was like, I'd love to feel my ascension a little quicker. So I have a place or a person and people where I can gather and do that. And in that, many conversations happened, which were great and wonderful. Today was one of those days where I was just like, why? After I've kind of felt this purge and this cleanse and this bit of a renewal, a rejuvenation, or a return, feel like I'm all of a sudden preparing for a battle. And then I was like, well, what are you thinking about? And then I was like, there you go. So I looked at the Mayan calendar today, and today's the number 13, and in the Mayan calendar it goes in cycles of 13. So on the last one, the number 13 is supposed to suggest that there's like turbulation, or perhaps even this one, I believe it's the day of the rain god, which is meant to kind of be that kind of pelting rain that can blast through roofs, or just kind of like bog everything down until it's like squished down to earth. And the reason that it's supposed to also be looked at as an opportunity to kind of not just kind of, I think of being smushed down as like still, but turbulence to me just feels like there's something that's like pushing back up against that pressure, right? So, and that pressure that comes up is just our will to survive, or our need to ascend, or that part of us that's like, there's something really, just necessary, right? So I took this little notion that I got shared from one of the attributes, or the many that come from the Burning Man theories and philosophies, which is like radical acceptance, right? But radical inclusion, right? And so I was thinking, if this is, if I'm coming up against odds, right? Maybe I bring them in rather than push them so hard away, right? So I kind of gather them and I kind of ascend with them. So that has turned today into a more bountiful day than I expected. That's where I came up with this practice that we're gonna do today. So let's enjoy, right? Take your hands together at your heart, and we'll take 3 breaths together with ease and comfort. Inhale nice and full. And exhale through your mouth. That's the space maker. Take another inhale. Bring in that energy and hold it in. And exhale through your mouth. Nice and easy. Let it out. The energy hasn't left you. It's filled the space. One more time together. Inhale. Hold it for a moment. With control. We let it out. your head to your heart and release your hands. That third one is always the divine. It's where I've practiced this enough to know that this is an influence, right? It's influencing me and I'm influencing it. So energy is kind of part of your creation, right? So that's why we practice the number that in threes in the practice of yoga. So we do things until we start feeling like it's nothing but us, right? So when you get to your mat, you're gonna take a wide stance. And this is kind of came out of my today when I was at the gym doing my own practice, and this guy came in and took over the entire space to spin on his head. Literally, he is a breakdancer. And I was just like, oh, can I share this room, or can I let him just like have his space? Because he clearly needed it, and maybe I could be done and just do this now with you. Right, so this came out of that. So I'm starting with just a bent knee, and I've got a light little bob. So it's a little booty shake bob, just sweeping through my knees, sweeping through my shoulders, right? So if you sweep your hips from right to left, and I'm rocking on my heels, but I'm swinging my shoulders forward and back, right? So essentially, if you're doing this, you're feeling it. It's like a little mild, little upper back, mid-back twist with a little rock to open, warm the thighs, and get into the hips, and this is a quick way of doing it. So quicker than we typically go, but this is a half-hour practice. Touch your hands, the legs haven't changed much, right? I'm gonna flatten my hands so I'm comfortable in the entirety of the hand from wrist to fingertips, and then I'm gonna go a little hop and knees to the floor. Shins, right? Shins are parallel, hands remain, hop back up. And then you're turning to your right with a left bent knee. Okay, I'm going to turn that into a little triangle pose. It's not so little. I'm almost 6 feet tall. It's never little. And then reverse this, right? VHS reverse. You get back to that little creep, back to the center, and then over to the left. So it's both bent knees. And then a nice little swivel to pivot into triangle pose, right? Just allowing, right? This one, creation comes up from the floor here, right? We don't want to be passive, so you stay active in your joints. Okay, reverse this to get that little creeper, back to the middle, and hands to the floor. I want to hop again to the knees, hop back up to the legs, adding a little bit different. Stay in that left foot, pick up the right leg and go for a little push in the right hand and open in the right hip. Right, you're mostly in the left foot so much that, right, your left hand is just keeping the floor. That's going to change in a moment when we come into our next version of this, right? Back to the right foot, back to that little froggy squat, and then again, a hop, right? So we're trying to really kind of weight shift into the arms, the hands, the shoulders, the upper back, so that when we hop, we land like a feather on your knees and shins, so you have no concern about thumping, clunking, or injuring yourself, right? So you push to hop, right? And I'm shifting into my right leg with the left hip open. So it's a big push from my left fingertips, out my left knee, maybe down into the toes. Okay, bring it back, little squat, little hop, get a little slower, a little hoppier, back up. Okie dokie, over the right shoulder. First I'm going to take this into a twist lunge. So left leg straight, left elbow outside of right knee. Nice breath up from the right heel to the right hand. And then that is going to come into a triangle pose. Not bad. So we're just building with all the things that you understand, which is just your body. You understand it. I'm feeling a little bee-boppy. I also have the laundry in right now. I turned off my timer. I'm getting better at this. It only took a year. Right? Turn off all those big things. Be on airplane mode. And turn over that right knee, left to the left foot, sorry. Right? Hook this to twist. So it's a lunge twist, left arm up. right? Feeling some resolve and pushing down through that right elbow, up through that left arm. And then you travel, pivot, turn, twist, triangle, right? And so options, right? You could be higher up if being lower down, right? The essential point of this is to draw back from the underside of that left armpit, right? So think of that kind of sucking up to the ribs and sliding back to that crease where the leg meets the body. And in so many ways, from the back of the right booty, it's picking up and essentially sort of attempting to make your torso parallel to the floor. Attempting is the key word. Okay, let's take the hands to the floor and do a little hop. Pretty nice. Hop back up, and then open hip, right leg up. So now, this time, we're gonna actually lift your left heel and lean over the wrist. Lean your shoulders over the wrist, and you're gonna do a little hop on that left foot 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Right foot down. A little frightening, right? Hop, shins light, back to feet froggy, and then open hip again into the right foot. Right heel comes up. You're leaning forward into the hands. A little hop with that right foot. Hop, press into your right hand. Hop. Notice that in that hop, right, since you were hopping with your right foot, leaning forward with shoulders over the wrists, that by pushing into that right hand, you actually gave yourself a little kind of asymmetrical balance over the shoulders, the arms, feeling like handstandy, right? All right, here we go. Let's hop to knees, hop to froggy, and back up. Changing, left elbow, left knee. Keep your little froggy plie squat. Right arm reaching. And you're gonna do a big sweep across the room, ooh, to hook that lunge. Right arm up. So lunge, twist. Okay? That. Take your next exhale. Triangle pose. Ooh. And then from triangle pose, side angle pose. Right knee bends. Right, now you're right here as you bend your elbow, you bend your left knee, and we're back in the middle. Hands to the floor, soft land, back to froggy feet, back up, right elbow, right knee, left arm reaching. So think of pulling up from your right ribs into your left shoulder, left side, body, breath, lungs, generous, right? Give it the gift. Okay, you're gonna reach across that room with the left arm and turn to twist, hook, elbow to knee, left arm up. Right, generally there are about 3 breaths here, even though I'm not cueing them entirely each one, but inhale and exhaling, right? Triangle pose here. Whee! Awesome. And then take that to a deep side angle pose, right? And of course, that could be modified. You could be higher up, elbow to knee. Okay, that right elbow bends, brings you back. And we're just mostly, right, so thinking of the words I've been using to cue our transitions, they've been weight shift, right? Meaning just bring your breath, bring your body, bring your mind into that space, right? A hand, a breath, a movement, some area of your room. Don't fall on your table. But you'll notice if you're really sort of encouraging yourself to weight shift and transfer over, you don't have to muscle through the practice. You can really kind of float up and move with it, right? Hands to the floor. And take a moment first, straighten the legs and lean forward. Okay, I'm gonna keep my legs straight and then just bow. So you're in a wide straddle forward bow, no big deal. Big inhales and big exhales. Okay, you're gonna come back up, flat back, hands plant, hop to a softie, right? You're gonna hop back up, plant the feet, right? Little bent knee, and then shift into that left leg again. Right leg hip open, okay? Tiptoe, left foot, so heels up, And you're gonna do 3 little hops up with the left foot. Let's see if you can slow this down a little bit and get a little bit more over the hands. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so you notice sort of what it takes to kind of cognitively shift into pushing the floor away with that left and feel the floor press right back up into you so much that you levitate. Okay, little squatty knees, nice parallel feet, straight legs, and drop the head. All right, so you have a little recovery between sides. Inhale to a flat back, hands plant, little soft land. This is also a good practice for the floating that we're slightly attempting to do, right? Hop back up, froggy legs. Open hip, left leg lift. You're on the right foot. So this is gonna be a push in the right hand, right? Let's shift, shoulders forward, so you're right over the wrist, the hands, tiptoes in that right foot. We're just trying to practice pushing into the right hand to lift that right foot, right? So you notice by doing that, you kind of slow down or decelerate the hop and you really hover there, which is cool, okay? All right, let's hop down. Shins, come up to stand on your knees for a moment. Right arm up, little side bend, over to the left. Look up to the palm, and then follow that up. Switch right hand to the right knee or shin, calf, and left arm reaching. Okay, not a big deal. Inhale up. Ooh. Here we go. Hands hopping. Up. Here we are, right? All right. So this is kind of the big one. Time is good. Right arm's reaching. We're gonna slide that reach over into your lunge, twist. Right, here's an option, right? First option, right arm forward. Just a little bit extra. Second option, right arm across the low back, half bind. Third option, full bind, left arm underneath that right leg. So fingers or holding wrists. I suggest fingers. Right hip is straight back from the knee and the right side of the chest is open. Okay, let that go. So you can transition, you push weight shift to the right foot, transfer balance, both feet. You're in triangle pose. Okay, and that third exhale, we go side angle pose. And of course, that option 1, regular side angle, arm forward. Option 2, half bind, left hand is on the top of the right thigh. And option 3, right arm, right shoulder goes a little lower so that you can find your left hand, full bind. Okie dokie. Awesome. We're gonna let that go. Woo! Right, and we're gonna slide that back into this little froggy moment. This one, we're gonna go crow, then shins and knees to the floor, nice and slow. So with the wide stance, you got this opportunity, both weight shift, forward into the hands, right? Onto the hands, up through the toes, knees together, down through the knees, right? And then back up onto the feet and into your thighs, right? Your thighs might be sort of deeper plie, right? Plie them thighs. Left arm's reaching. Just a simple sort of a Kali Ma squat. Not that simple, right? Sweep that. Twisted lunge pose. Okay. Option 1, left arm reaching forward. Option 2, half bind. Right? Just having the hand right there at that right outer hip. Option 3, right arm underneath to find full bind. Sometimes we have to kind of offer a little assistance here. Okay, let that go. Whew. Triangle pose. Oi, oi, oi. Right, this is where we start to notice triangle pose is a savior, right? It's a divine gift. It is radical and always feels new when you're coming out of something. You're like, whoa, let me process that triumph, or let me process that journey, not a trauma, might be. This is trauma informed, right? Let's take this into a side angle pose. Left knee bends. Right, option 1. Option 2, half bind. Option 3, full bind. Right, so whatever you're choosing, we're constantly breathing, right? So the third sort of full enlightenment, embodiment, right, comes with some practice, right? So you take your time to make your adjustments, find your smile, let that go. Woo! We slide this, back to that Kalima, right? Let's take this to a crow pose, right? Bakasana, hands to the floor. Lean forward, find 1, then 2, crow, push the floor away, shins, make sure you're on the mat, and come to stand on your knees. Third set, right? This is our maha. This is gonna wrap this namadhyama up, right? Good timing, right arm reaching. Okay, just feeling that. If you'd like to slide your left hand back towards your left heel, push your butt forward and then lean sweep to the mirror behind you. All right, keep your shoulders squeezing together. Sweep back to the side, up. The reason I sound crazy when I'm speaking is not just because of this, really, to be honest. But who speaks while they're doing these things in yoga, right? So it all sounds like strain because this is meant to be mindful breathing, not talking while mindful breathing. Left arm up, right? So it is hard. Right? Long side body, feeling good. Right? If you want right hand back farther, glutes stay forward so your hips stay generally over your knees, and you sweep back, round reach, right heart, belly's in, over to the right again. Press to shift so that right knee helps you press up and you come to center. Let's hop up to crow from here. So this is kind of the cool, fun transition. And we're gonna do one more time. We're gonna up to crow from here, hopping from the floor, if you wish. Then we're gonna go back to that Kali squat for one more little sort of happy little moment of surprise, right? So maybe we'll be surprised by our handstandedness, okay? So you plant your hands, shift forward already, ready to push the floor away. You're gonna see if you can hop your shins up and grab your knees onto your triceps into a crow, right? 1, 2, when you're ready. Okay, crow, feet land, no big deal. Here we are with this, hands still on the floor, sorry. Push into that right hand, open the right hip. Then lean into both hands so that you can feel your left hand press into the floor. So shoulders over the wrist. Left heel up. You're gonna lean, and you're gonna hop right foot. See if you can lean and hold it up in the air for a breath. On the slanted floor, that is quite a thing, but my next leg will be better. Right foot to the floor. So this is meant to kind of giggle you. It is a little bit of muscle work. It is some kind of a path out of some fear, right? Some tendencies. But that should also make you laugh a little bit, right? And so be careful, but have fun, right? So this is not meant to throw you off or put you into a tailspin. Left hip open. Whew, that was a lot. Lean forward into the hands, right heel up, right hand press, and just shifting, right? Hand press, right foot up. Maybe there's a little bit more space, a little bit more time before the foot comes back to the floor. Left foot returns. Here we are. All right. Let's do the Maha version of this, right? So third version, we're right on time, okay? All right, left elbow, left knee, right arm reaching, and since this is bigger, your next option is to also lift the arm. All right, so now we sweep with both arms, go into the right foot, and take your lunge with either a bind or not, twisting to the right, over the right knee. Okay? This has got a little bit of a change. We're gonna go left heel down, still bound, bound, twisted, triangle pose. So right leg straightens, right? Top of the head, Let go of the bind. Regular triangle pose. There's the gift. Okay. And then you're gonna side angle pose. Here's a couple options because we're doing a lot of work here. Right arm reach, right? Or bind both. Right? Release arms. Bind or not bind. And then one more time. Release arms. And this is gonna have a little bit of change. Left arm down, left knee down, right arm up. And then you're gonna pick up that knee, touch it to your right elbow. Right, touch it back, knee down, foot up. So it's a thigh stretch with a twist in an Anjaneyasana. So that little knee tuck is like a little bonus. Okay, let go of the foot, pick up the knee, and you slide this back into your plie. Just touch the floor, touch back up, and we got the left side, and we're golden. Right elbow, right knee, left arm reaching. All right, right arm reaching. Woo! Hello, hamstrings. Right, sweep this. Go either half bind, no bind, or some version of your twisted lunge. Okay? Right, remember to lift the chin so your throat's open. Okay, right heel goes to your left. Left leg straightens. Hug your left hip in so you don't feel like your hip's gonna pop out. Left shoulder tucks onto your back. Okay, left knee bends. Unravel that. Whew, so bound triangle pose is not playing, right? Sorry, no play is allowed in this game. We are full service here, looking for realness. Side angle pose. Woo! All right, here's our repetition. Both arms reaching, both arms binding. Same legs. Take your inhale to reach, so you're using your arms to facilitate that bigger inhale. Your bind is your exhale. One more of those, big reach, and then right hand to the floor, right knee to the mat, left arm up. Right, so you can look up, so this can be sort of our option A. You don't have to do this next part if you want. Tuck in, take a little ab moment there, and then let that blossom. The breath that it takes to this twist, to this turn. Left hand is on your right foot, heel is coming forward, hip is pressing back, and the left belly, ribs, shoulders, just kind of rising and opening. Whee! Let it go, pick it up, and bring it to the center. Oh, so good. Okay. I have a little music playing on the echo, and it's being sassy. Okay, let's bring the hands back to the floor. Straighten the legs. Woo! And lower the elbows if there's room. Alrighty, so we're gonna go headstand for a moment here. I'm gonna sort of practice it in both directions, and you can practice it the entire time, or you can try this just twice, right? So you decide. So I'm setting this up from a wide straddle, forward bow. Right? If you need to take your elbows farther forward, that doesn't make this impossible. It's probably just as easy, right? So your elbows come down. Hopefully you can find your shoulders over them and comfortably interlace your fingers. Right? Lean forward so that you can find your head comfortable and neck long. So shoulders lifting towards your hips. And the heels come up, tiptoes. Right? Maybe that's just where you are. Weight shift into those elbows. Press and just come halfway up. Okay, if that's enough, great. Own it, love it, transform it. If you want to bring those legs up, do. Okay? Take your time, still pressing the floor away. Feel the floor, holding those elbows. Take your time, not in the neck, and feet go to the floor. And then inhale to a flat back, right? So taking a little moment. Okay, if you're going for a round two or you want to do a long hold, I'm just going to turn this around just in case it makes more sense to see it from this angle. I'm not sure if it even does, if it's even helpful. helpful. For some people it is, right? So, keeping your belly in, you're almost thinking of C-curving slightly so that you can tuck the bottom of your ribs. So when you lean into your elbows, it's like you're unfolding your strong abs and your abdominal muscles tone up through your thighs and into the sky. Right? And you're still breathing. Still in those elbows. Still pretty easy in the neck. Okay? Nice and smooth. You go to your wide straddle. A little of that little tip of the pelvis so that you can tuck the abs again. Woo! And then you release that. Okay. So we're going to come to the floor. And we're going to make this real thing just a little bit more floor happy. Okay. Something came up recently that was kind of showing me sort of the benefit of why I loved this pose. Like I learned to do the splits from this shape, Janu Shirshasana. So we'll do left knee bent and right leg straight with the toes up, right? So grab over the top of your thigh, towards the back, find your butt, pull it out of the way, and sit your sit bone down. All of a sudden, right, your right side of your pelvis goes down, which actually is because it was hiked up a lot, right? So our natural tendency, our hip hikers, are always just kind of saving your kidneys and kind of hiking up into it, which is actually, even though it's saving them, protecting them from external threats, the internal threat is tension around your kidneys, which suck. All right, so here we are. My knees are always a little bit tight, but whatever, it's probably keeping them together. No problem. So I'm turning towards my bent knee, and I'm gonna lean into my left knee. My right hip is gonna follow, and then I'm just gonna choose to weight shift into my left knee, press, and then really open up my abdomen from the center seam of your 6-10 pack, right, to your obliques, and then down to the outside of your right hip. So down, you might even push the floor away. Super juicy, really good. Come up, now turn towards your straight leg, and you're bending, folding, reaching, however that works. Okay, and then nice little opening, right hand to right foot. I have my left hand, my hip, just to remind you to stay down. So we were big, we were open, we did lots of stuff, we were brave, we were bouncy. Right now we're balancing the energy, and that's just fine. You can be super tight, strong. Is tight the right word? I'm gonna take that away, scratch that. You can be super engaged, right? We'll say that. You are efficient in your generous gift of being present in your body and strong in your muscles. Ooh, I am not trying to be a guru. That is definitely true and obvious. All right, switch sides. Right knee is bent. Right, left leg is engaged, right? Toned, you can see your quads fire up, toes to the sky, booty out of the way. My floor goes like this, so it's even more of a drastic drop of my hip, whatever. Turn to your bent knee, right? And you're just gonna reach for it, and you're gonna let that left hip pop back up again. So as you bow, first your hands catch. Once your hands catch, let your knee initiate, press into the mat with your outside of your knee, and let that sort of bring this cascade of awareness, inner thighs, abdominal muscles, right over the obliques, down to your beautiful glutes, and right to that outer left hip. So you're getting this kind of unlocking of tension. And you're breathing. Don't forget that. Okay, you can use your hands to walk back up, also the knee. Turn towards the straight leg, and just kind of reach over it. So it doesn't matter if you're reaching over it where hands are still here, or even pressing you from behind you. If you're reaching halfway, sort of knee range to the side, straddling to brace, or if you're grabbing the foot and using a little bit more of that sort of that wide space of that bent knee to assist you forward in that stretch. Doesn't matter, because we're now gonna peel, rotate, turn open through the right side of the chest. Right, and this is where you actually start to feel the service going to the bent knee hip, right? And that's you just kind of letting go of unnecessary turbulence, right? The rumble, the bumble, the unleashing for creation, right? And then we come up. Whew. Last little piece, my favorite, little Paschimottanasana for your hamstrings and for your energy, for your ego probably too, right? Toes are up, thighs are to the floor, space behind your knees, right? Lift the chest, find your exhale sliding towards the direction towards your feet. You don't have to get there, but if you can, great, fine, right? And then if you want to just drop your head without straining your neck, do. And stay working through the legs. So don't let the legs drop out. Actually let them sort of tune in, right? So start to feel that energy that is, it's a kind of a spiritual radiation, right? It's not the radiation that means that you're pinching a nerve, right? So this is more like, wow, I feel that flow. I feel the work that's been done, right? The work and worth. And your inhale. We come back up, right? You might have stayed there, you might still be there. Feel free to do that. It's been a pleasure, a true pleasure, right? Stay cute, talk soon. Happy International Women's Month, right? Kicking it off with this day. I think it's a day, it could be many days, it could be all year, it might as well be. Peace, talk soon, stay cute, and